This is the new Peugeot 208, a cool looking French alternative to your usual Ford Fiestas, Vauxhall Corsas and VW Polos. And in this video, I'm going to tell you all you need to know about it and whether it's any good or not, so continue watching. Let's start this review by talking about the 208's design. I'm going to make it very, very simple for you. From this angle, it looks awesome. If you check it from this angle, you'll find that it looks awesome. Then as you move around the front and you see the design of the lights, the way you've got these three bars in them, which are supposed to look like a lion's claw. And then you've got this other element down here, which is supposed to mimic a lion's fang. Anyway, from the front, it looks totally awesome. Now this is a higher specification car, so it has a few extra trinkets on it, and the entry level model looks like that. And that car starts from just over £16,000. That you can save an average of £2,000 off a 208 through carwow. If you want to go to carwow to compare cars, deals and all that kind of stuff, you can just Google carwow, or if you click on the pop-out banner in the top right hand corner of the screen, you can download our new free-to-use app to peruse all sorts of different things like reviews, videos, and lots of other stuff as well. Go check it out, it's free. If you think the outside looks good, check out this interior. It is like no other small car. In fact, it makes things like the Volkswagen Polo, the Fiesta, and pretty much any other small car just look boring. There's just so much going on. It's like a work of art. I love the two-step dash. I like the way all the controls, like the heat and stuff, are just here on these little kind of piano switches. Really, really nice. It's just so quirky. Look at the instrument surrounds. Why have you got the steering wheel? Dispense with that. I feel like I should be able to steer it with this. It's nuts. I don't love it for it. It's not all perfect though. I've got to calm down, be a sensible, critical motoring journalist. There are a few things that aren't great. For instance, scratchy plastics up here. Now, you do expect that on small cars such as this. But the new Renault Clio has soft touch, luxurious materials up here. Also, I'm not convinced that this driving position is going to be for everyone. It looks really cool and funky, but depending on your body shape, you may find that with your ideal seating position, you can't actually see the dials, and then it's really frustrating. If it does work for you, it's actually really cool with this little steering wheel and the way it's all laid out. Now I'm going to explain to you the model range. So it starts with the Active, and that gets stuff like a 7-inch infotainment system with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, plus air conditioning. The next model up is called the Allure. Je t'aime. That includes a digital driver's display. You also get 4 USB inputs, and look, wireless charging pad as well, lovely. It also includes 17-inch alloy wheels. Next is the GT line, and it has fancy headlights with that kind of claw effect which I explained earlier. It also gets a reversing camera and front as well as rear parking sensors. At the top of the range is the GT, and instead of the normal 7-inch screen you get on the other models, you get this more glorious 10-inch touchscreen, and it's also got inbuilt satellite navigation. You can have that as an option on models low down in the range. This GT also gets blind spot monitoring, adaptive cruise control, and it also gets lane keeping assist. Now, if you have the car with this automatic gearbox, you can pay an extra £300, then you get this semi-autonomous driving aid, so it'll pretty much drive the car for you when you're on the motorway, with the steering, the braking, and all that kind of stuff. It's nice and easy to just cruise along. This particular car is a 1.2 litre, 100 horsepower GT line. I put the details into the carwow configurator, and it should cost £22,000, but I got an offer back from a carwow dealer for 20 grand. Save you having to do that. What I've done is pick my favourite model and engine choice of the 208, and I've actually pre-configured one to get some really fair deals from the carwow dealers. And if you click on the pop-out banner up there, you can go there to see that car. Go check it out. The back seats of this car are adequate. I've got a little bit of knee room, we've got a little bit of headroom. People over 6 foot will be touching their knees on the seat in front and probably brushing their head on the roof if they sit up straight. If you need to carry 3 people in the back at once, you'll find the body really quite narrow, so not great for adults. 3 kids would be fine. Part of the problem is this, the roof slopes in, so with 3 people, the ones on the outer have their head pressed up against that. Not as great to sit in the back of as a Seat Ibiza, and if you click on the pop-out banner up there, you can watch my full in-depth video review of that car. Another problem with this is that the door opening is quite large, so if you've got fat friends, they're going to end up having to spill out to then go and explain about the boot volume. So the capacity is 311 litres, which is actually all right for a small car. A bit more than a Ford Fiesta, less than a Volkswagen Polo, and a lot less actually than the new Renault Clio. At least it's got a square shape. There is a bit of a boot lip to lift stuff over. It's not too bad though. And you can actually squeeze quite a bit underneath this load cover. You can fit in there one large suitcase and 2 small suitcases, or a child's buggy plus a soft bag. Unfortunately, you can't fit a set of golf clubs in there. Bit annoying. Another thing that's annoying is the fact there's hardly any features in here. Look, I've just got this random strap. Nothing else. No 12-volt socket, no tie-down hooks, no raisable boot floor, just an area for stuff. There's quite a decent engine choice with this 208, so you can get a 1.2 litre 3-cylinder petrol with 3 different power outputs. If you need to do loads of miles, you're probably going to be wanting the 1.5 litre 4-cylinder diesel. However, if you want to be more environmentally friendly, you can get an all-electric version called the E208. How on earth did they ever come up with that name? Must have taken the marketing men ages. Let's continue this review by talking about some more elements of practicality. It's actually all right. There's plenty of cubby spaces in this car. For instance, look, we've got 2 decent-sized cup holders there. And you have a little bit of storage under here, a little tray for your key. I like that. There's a big area down here where you can put your mobile phone and a 12-volt charging socket as well. The door bins in the front are a big old size. In the back, they're decent as well. And you've got some storage nets here on the seat backs. The only thing that really bothers me is this. Look, you get half a glove box. Now, you don't have that if you've got a left-hand drive car. It's just due to the way that Peugeot designs it when they move the steering wheel over to the right. They just don't bother to make a full-size glove box for reasons. On the rare occasions that you need to transport a load of stuff about, you may find it a bit annoying that when you fold the seats down the back of this 208, you do get this big ridge, so it's a bit awkward to push stuff to the front. Still, you can fit an okay amount in here. So there's room for 2 large boxes, 3 small boxes, a soft bag, 2 large suitcases, and 1 small suitcase. It's all right, really. This digital driver's display is super cool. It's got this 3D effect on it, and you can change the look of it as well to various different designs. I love it. It's actually quite easy to use, and you can control quite a few of the car's functions through it as well. There we go. This is the one for driving, which has your active cruise control displayed there. The infotainment system on this car is good. It's not class leading, but it's more than up to the job. I do like the fact that you've got these shortcut buttons down here, which are just touch sensitive, so you can flip from screen to screen. The built-in sat-nav is all right, though. Do you know what? I ain't going to bother with that, am I? I'm just going to plug in my phone and use Android Auto instead. Google Maps it. Better traffic, better everything. It's quite interesting that it's gone small screen like this, because most cars have the smaller screen, and this is what the screen looks like anyway, because it's got some black panels at the side. It doesn't look as nice, does it? If you have 3 young children, you'll be very pleased to know that you can actually get this car with 3 sets of ISOFIX. So GT line and GT models have ISOFIX anchor points here in the front, and the points are quite easy to get to. You just use that zip there and poke around in, and the seat should attach. Now, fitting a bulky rear-facing seat in the back of the car is a bit of a faff. It's really hard to get it through the narrow door opening, and there is not much room for manoeuvre either. You're going to have to push this front seat forward to be able to get it in. And that brings me on to 5 annoying things about the Peugeot 208. The image from the reversing camera is just so washed out and the graphics so blocky that it just looks like they're stolen the screen from a Game Boy Advance. The fuel filler cap looks unnecessarily large. It could almost double as an air brake, and it spoils the otherwise beautiful design. Now, I know it has to be large because this car is also available as an EV, so you need a big charging input socket, but still don't like it. There's no armrest in the back seats, so I can't rest my arm there. It's all right though. I can rest them on the window ledge. Look, I'll just put the window down to do that. It doesn't go all the way down. Shit. Well, the 1.2 litre 3-cylinder petrol engines are fine when you're driving. When you're at a standstill and it's just ticking over, you really feel the vibrations of it in the cabin. I mean, look at this. It's making my phone walk. My phone is slithering away. Slither, slither away. There's no guides or holders for the rear seat belt, so when you fold the rear seats down, that happens, and when you put it back up, that happens, and that does my head right in, so it does. Thankfully, this car has plenty of cool features to help make up for all this. Here's 5. You can get some right luxury features in this car, like a panoramic sunroof, massage seats and ambient lighting. How posh is that? This Elixir red paint looks so luscious I could lick it. Now the reason it looks so good is because rather than having a clear top coat, it's actually got a coloured top coat which adds to the loveliness. If you're crap at driving and you need help manoeuvring into spaces, you can actually get this car with an auto park facility which will automatically park it for you. It only costs 250 quid, which is actually pretty good value for money if you ask me. There's a flat underfloor for improved aerodynamics, and that helps reduce noise when you're travelling and fuel consumption, apparently. Despite having more kit, more safety, and generally being more luxurious, this new 208 is actually 30 kilos lighter than the old one, which is about the same weight as me when I was 10. Let's see what this little Peugeot 208 is like to drive, and I'm going to see what it's like in town first. So it's actually pretty blooming good. The suspension is really soft. It's great over bumps. Fabulous when you're going over potholes or you're going over speed humps. Great. Turning circle, it's not quite as sharp as a Renault Clio, but it's still pretty decent. Now Peugeots used to have very over-assisted brakes, so you'd dab the brake pedal and you'd be braking a bit too hard, but this one's easier to control, not so bad at all. This particular car is the automatic. Now the manual probably is better value for money, and most people go for a manual, and the manual shifts fine, the clutch pedal is nice and light. The automatic is slightly more relaxing to drive though, because you can just let it do its thing. I'm going to let it do its thing when I'm parking, and this will be a good opportunity to check out the visibility on this car. Over your shoulder isn't so great, but you do get reversing sensors on all versions, and this GT line has front parking sensors as well as the reversing ones and a reversing camera, and the door mirrors are nice and big so it's easy to see where you're going, and the way those lines move really help you negotiate into a space. Oh, parking sensor thinks I'm close to that car in front. Here we go. That's so easy. One thing I do notice with this is when you're just pulling away with the automatic, it's not the smoothest, so you do have to be very careful with the pedal so that when you're manoeuvring you don't suddenly smack into the car in front. That was lovely jubbly, job done. Let's go see what this car is like when you're driving a little bit quicker. Let's go. Sometimes small cars like this can be a bit of a drag on the motorway. Not this one though. It's comfy, it's reasonably quiet, it's sure-footed, and it picks up all right. So I've got the 100 horsepower engine doing 50 miles an hour, floor it. Bit of a hesitation from the gearbox, but then it's going all right. And there is your 70. Not too bad, but if you do that too often, you will hurt the fuel economy. So this one is averaging just over 37 miles per gallon. That's not great. I was expecting over 40, but sometimes with these small turbocharged petrol engines, if you accelerate too hard in them, they do drink fuel like a much bigger engine, so they're not always quite as economical as you might like. Actually, I've got better economy out of a VW Polo, so if you click on the pop-out banner up there, you can watch my full in-depth video review of that car. Finally then, let's see how this little Peugeot handles a twisty road. I can actually put it into sports mode. It doesn't really do much. It makes the steering a bit heavier and the throttle response a bit sharper. Does it feel sharp though? Into a corner. Oh no, it leans a little bit more than quite a lot of other super minis, such as a Ford Fiesta. It goes round corners okay-ish, but then if you push too hard, the front tyres start to lose grip and it washes wide. Also the steering, it just doesn't feel quite precise enough really to make you want to chuck it about. But most people don't want to chuck cars like this about. Why would you? Silly. Now if you do want to chuck cars like this about, you're probably going to prefer a Ford Fiesta, and if you click on the pop-out banner up there, you know what you can do. Yes, you can watch my in-depth video review of that car. So then, what's my final verdict on the new Peugeot 208? Should you avoid it? Should you consider it? Should you shortlist it? Or should you just go right ahead and buy it? Well, I reckon you should just go right ahead and buy the new 208. It does pretty much all you need a small car to. Yeah, it just looks absolutely cool. In fact, it makes other small cars just seem... If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to this channel for more videos. And if you click on the deals box to the right, you can see how much you can save on a new car at CarWow. Or click on the video windows below to watch another of my videos.